Preparing to live stream. This meeting is being live streamed. Got it. Preparing to live stream. This meeting is being live streamed. Got it.
Uh-oh.
Boom. We are on time.
Wow. All right.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
We are back.
And we are on time. Sorry about the last two. We were a little bit late, but we wanted to make sure we were prompt and ready to go. So here we are.
Yes. Let's see if the people are on time. All right, cool.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us again. We are psyched to continue the conversation from last week, which we were sort of starting to play some of the clips from the previous show and also some of the video footage from some of the rehearsals. So we wanted to talk again tonight for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then hope that you, those of you who have seen the show, continue to kind of share in our excitement and then figure out and talk a little bit about kind of what we're going to do next.
Yes.
So,
I'm trying to figure out how to join the chat so I could have fun, but I don't know why I'm trying to chat with everybody. I could just use my voice over here. Let's also take a second to remind everybody, and we'll have a lot of fun during this whole chat about the Very Moon, our experiences with it, and play you guys some stuff, take some questions, which I think we'll do at the very top of the hour. But we're also trying to get engagement from everybody, from the fan base, from the people that are joining us, from the people that supported us in the first round of the workshops, the people that supported us in the first round of our Indiegogo campaign, and really try and get everybody as excited about this next round of workshop number 2 as we are. Again, it's a long runway in order to get to that second round. We're kind of going all in as much as we can on this workshop too. So your support is definitely needed to help us get there, as well as just to come along for the ride, so that you could have a horse in the race, and that horse is the Very Moon musical.
that horse also, if you need to be reminded, is a little bit of a gentleman's wager between Aron and John here as to who is going to be the one to attract the most donation dollars. And the loser of this bet is going to be dressed in Canadian tuxedo for the subsequent biscuit show after this fundraising campaign finishes. So, John, you want to tell them a little bit about what's at stake there?
Well, I see so Z Lizzie in the chat is like, I don't know what this is about. So basically what this is about, Z Lizzie, is we did the first workshop of the Very Moon musical, a huge success. And now we're doing a second workshop of the Very Moon musical, which is going to be a massive success. And we're doing it 10 times bigger. We're only allowed to do 4 shows instead of the amount of shows we need to do. So we need to raise a little money to cover the difference so we can do the shows and not punt on the concept of Very Moon. We want to keep the Very Moon getting better and better and changing all the time. It's kind of like a TV show almost, where the Workshop 1 was what it was. Workshop 2 is going to be something different. You watch The Simpsons, it's the same characters, but they do different things. It's a little bit like that. It's a couple of the same things, like some of the big hits are going to be in there. Voices Insane, Falling, Eulogy, Very Moon, Hot Air Balloon. Bizarre Escape is going to be wild. Those songs are in there. But there's a lot of songs that we wrote for Workshop 1 and 2 that are going to be in there. Sunday's Best, Falling is one of those. There's a bunch of big hits there. And then we're going to add even more new songs for Workshop 2, because Workshop 2 is going to have a totally different plot than Workshop 1. And we're on our way to something cool. People can't hear me.
Yeah, that mic's better. Yeah.
All right. So essentially,
so the wager... The wager is that when we were in the studio last month, John and Aron.
Sorry.
John and Aron were debating about where the lion's share of our donations were going to come from for this fundraising campaign. And Aron, in his typical hoity-toity fashion, said that the lion's share were going to come from fat cats, from the airship tycoons of the fan base. and
Yes.
that they were going to donate donations of, I think, what would we agree ultimately, $250 or more? We've wavered a bit. I mean, at one point it was $1,500. Essentially, the big donors were going to be the ones who were going to drive the campaign. And John, more of a man of the people, as you know, he said it was going to be the small donations that are going to come from the masses, the rebels. So it was the rebels versus the fat cats, the rebels versus the airship tycoons. And the loser of this bet is going to be the one who dresses in all denim, a denim tuxedo for the next biscuit show. So Canadian tuxedo, yeah. But I just those of you who, like me, didn't know what a Canadian tuxedo was until a month ago, need the definition, the denim full getup.
Yeah. So the whole skiing aspect is we're taking out the skiing. There's no skiing in a Canadian tuxedo. Skiing's done. Got it. Okay.
I mean, they want us to do it on stage. They want us to play to be on stage doing our Canadian tuxedo, which is tough because you're gonna be sweating a lot at that show. That's gonna be a sweaty show. I mean,
because you have to wear. Don't you have to wear a garbage bag underneath the denim?
Those of you who want to see Aron really sweat at the show, go to the Indiegogo. It's pinned in the chat and donate $1. Donate $20, but don't donate more than $250. That's the trick. And then you will be counted as a rebel. And the rebels and the fat cats are kind of even. The rebels need to outmatch the fat cats like 5-1.
But let me also put it this way:
today's the day.
But if you're a fat cat and you want to make a larger donation, you're also then entitled to certain perks. And the perks are that for $750 donation, you get 2 VIP seats. For I think it's a $2,500 donation, or is it a $1,500 that you get a meet and greet with the cast and creative team? I think it's $1,500. Is that correct? And then for a donation of $5,000 or more, you can you'll be able to come and sit in on a rehearsal and hang out with the cast and with the crew. So
you get to sit with us and watch them rehearse. That's wild. That's really fun. It's almost better than the show. And also just want to state for all you people who want to be rebels out there and are like, these aren't rebel things. Everyone who donates any amount of money will get an email with an option to purchase tickets in advance of the on sale of the show. So if you want to, and this show sold out really fast because we're only doing 4 of the shows. So it'll sell out really fast. It's only 1,000 tickets total that we're able to sell. The theater's 250 people, and we only have 4 nights available with this group. So 1,000 tickets and it's gone. So if you want to guarantee that you can buy a pair of tickets, you have like a day or two to decide how many tickets you want and who's coming and whatever. If you are a member of the donors, if you're an Indiegogo donor, you will get any amount of money. You will get a email giving you a couple days to pick up some tickets in advance before the public on sale. It's possible also because there's so few tickets that everybody in the Indiegogo may buy all of the 1,000 tickets that are available. So if you want to guarantee that you can go see the Very Moon, this is your chance.
So why don't we? We're going to play some music for you guys in a second from the first workshop and play a little bit of music from the rehearsals, getting ready for the next workshop. In the meantime, any questions? It can be Very Moon specific questions. I think at one point we were saying that what was the nature of the request, that if they requested, you'll grant any request for a donation of some certain amount or more to pull up, old file. There was some talk about pulling up old, biscuits rarities or something. Essentially, any question you want to ask. You've got the next 3 to 4 minutes. Then we're going to start pulling up some music. Are there any questions in the chat we need to get to?
Yeah, what do you guys want in the chat? What's going on? A lot of people chatting. They want to know when the shows are. Do we know when the shows are?
We're confirming details now. I think we're a little bit wary just because the ink isn't dry on the contracts, or is not signed yet on the contracts, but it's very, very soon.
Yeah, but we're talking late January, right? We're talking January 2024, late January, one of those weekends, not the first weekend of late January, probably the second weekend of late January, 2024.
Maybe even the third.
Maybe even the third. Honestly, I want to talk to the theater and see if they'll give us another week. And I would like to do, instead of 4 shows, 8 shows. But they do have other acts and other things coming through. So it's not easy to get these theaters. It's also not cheap.
Yes, it's not cheap, which is why we're raising money. That's where this money would be going. So if there are no questions, should we start? I'll start pulling up some music. Yeah.
Yeah, let's listen to some music.
So why don't
What do you want to start with?
Should we start with the following video?
Yeah, let's start with that.
All right. So I don't know if people have seen this. We made this video shortly after the first workshop to show the evolution of falling, and so it's a little less than 3 minutes. It's the closest thing we have to an MTV music video, and let's pull it up. Share sound. Here we go. All right. Good.
You know,
Yeah,
so I think that was a longer duration of time between the C and the A flat. So it depends on like what the words are going to be and what the flow of the stanza is going to be.
Momentary bliss eclipsed, dizziness comes on from vertigo. Jagged rocks beneath the precipice, rushing up from down below.
Down below, down below, down below, down below.
I chase the sunshine, cannot help but wonder where the time flies. Following the truth on the horizon, flying is more sorcery than science.
Drop through the clouds on my descent, but I'm not going down.
Yeah.
Fall through the air. I should be scared, but I know what's out there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's very.
I love how you rhyme scared, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the fucking song.
Yeah. It's fucking cool.
Soar through the air. I should be afraid, but I'm not scared. Fall through the clouds. I'm on my descent, but I'm not going down.
So go, everybody all at once. How many pieces and what orchestration would you like to see another iteration of this? Okay, go.
They're calling for falling already. They just heard it for the first time. They're like, falling. We were talking yesterday or the day before about like what flies in both worlds, and definitely falling is my top contender. And I think it will translate rather quickly. You know, if we decide to do that, and I think everybody in the Biscuits will find their natural lines, and there'll be an epic guitar solo and a chorus that everybody will sing along to.
Oh, man, that was the energy before we even got to the performance of that. You know, when it was just the three of us and the actors were taught by our amazing musical director Alex Bechtel, and the actors were taught the song and they sang it for the very first time in chorus, was just such a powerful experience. I mean, you know, it was goosebumps on all of us, and it was kind of I don't know, it provided the reason for why we do what we do as artists, right? You know, we chase that dragon constantly in order to create magic. You know, we do. We try and make magic, and we make magic, you know, frequently, not all the time. But we're always trying to make more magic, and that's what keeps us going and going. I don't know. What did you guys think when you first heard "Falling" for the first time?
John?
Well, honestly, with "Falling," the whole thing for me was the melody of the pre-chorus, you know, like how to make that melody. I thought that was the hook for the longest time, and it took me forever to figure out how to order that. And it was really like the lyrics, when the lyrics came in, that I was like, oh, that's how it should go. Yeah, A lot of love in the chat for Falling. I'm surprised. We got a donor. Scott Shriver is a rebel. We got a rebel.
I just got a text message. Rob Peskin, who is a fat cat, is tuning in right now. Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, but you know he's already counted amongst the fat cat, amongst the airship type.
That's true. That's true.
The rebels
Right.
are getting crushed today. I feel it.
Well, and look, that's what your donations go to is allowing us in some ways. I mean, John and Aaron have day jobs. I have a day job. It's like trying to find the time for us to be writing this music and clearing desks, to be able to also sit on Zooms, you know, at crazy hours where, you know, I'm in London and they're in Philly, and to be able to carve out 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 hours sometimes. You know, I feel like when we wrote Falling, it was at the end of like hour 6 is when, you know, we kind of finally came to it. And
last thing, it was the last song of a bunch of songs for sure.
And that's what these donations come to, is to kind of give us a little bit of that financial freedom to be able to kind of put other projects aside. And you know, to be able to but to be able to kind of write music and find the time, because it's also worth noting that up until this time, none of us have made a single penny on this. This is like purely passion project. And
we're just
you know,
trying not to lose all our money on this.
And hold on, I think I need to clear something up. The money that we're trying to raise is not so that we can table some of our other projects and concentrate on this musical. We're concentrating on the musical out of the pure love for, you know, chasing the dragon and, you know, kind of art for art's sake, which is partially the most beautiful part about this whole experience, for me at least. The money that we're raising is going, you know, directly into the pockets of our professional actors, directly into the pockets of a band that we're in the midst of hiring. You know, the venue costs a crazy ton of money. So it's all the expenses, basically. You know, this is not a cheap production, even though we're still in workshop mode. So it is not going to the three of us. I need to be clear about that.
Right.
We're trying not to go broke on this. Somebody said that they want to buy.
We're trying not to lose money.
Yes,
somebody said Falling into Mr. Don at the Clubhouse was fire. Everybody likes the song. Falling is going to be on the next Disco Biscuit album, which we are working on currently, because we have finished the space opera album. And so all of you who want your Disco Biscuit album, you're getting a space opera. And then we're already at work on the next album. We've already written Falling, and we have other great songs. And, you know, so we're
I thought Falling was copyrighted by the Very Moon Productions.
I mean, it's that we know them. We know them well. We had a cushy relationship with them. Somebody asked if they could buy one of the jumpsuits from the Very Moon.
It's an interesting question.
I have a jumpsuit that I could sell them. What?
So I think the thing about the jumpsuit,
somebody called Fart Hammer, though. So I don't know how legitimate.
Sting up the jumpsuit.
Hey, Clacky just came in as a rebel. That's dope. Another rebel. I think I spelled it wrong.
There could simultaneously also be fat cats who are donating, who are a little bit concerned about the public scorn of identifying themselves as a fat cat as well. So there could be silent fat cat donations. I'm not sure if there actually are or not, but
Airship Tycoon donations do not interest me. I'm interested in donations by people who want to do $249 or less. And I think that if you want to see Aaron sweat his ass off in a tuxedo during a show that's made of denim, yes, you do. So let's play something else. What else can we play?
So how about let's talk about, we've been talking about this with the band. With our prospective members of our band, because this is one of the songs that I feel like when we wrote, John, you recorded it, and you said, I think you said something along the lines of, this has like an LL Cool J vibe to it. And so this is Hacklett's Blade, and Hacklett's Blade is I feel like it's LL Cool J. It's, you know, it's the Run DMC, and I mean, not the Run DMC, it's the Public Enemy Anthrax album. It's got that sort of really heavy metal sort of rap vibe to it. And so let's pull this up, and bear with me a quick second.
Yeah, the guy who wants to buy the jumpsuit just hopped on Instagram. How do I do this? Ready? Here we go. There he is.
There he is. Thank you.
How cool is this, huh? My face coming through the phone. How does that even work?
Yeah, it's a.
I'm on the. This is genius right here.
You're in a wormhole, dude.
Hardhammer, can you hear us? Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at
I
that.
can hear Farthammer.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear him?
Oh, I can hear Fart Hammer loud and clear.
All right, Farthammer, are you interested in a jumpsuit?
Or a tycoon.
Which one? What was the jumpsuit from the Bottle and Cork?
Your tie-dye or your horse.
Oh, you want one of those? Okay, make me an offer. Make a donation to Indiegogo, and I guess we could talk about that. I guess I don't know what was your donation be. I don't want to get. That's a good jumpsuit. I thought you wanted to buy one of the Very Moon jumpsuits, which are also great jumpsuits. Oh no! I had it custom painted by an artist. It cost me hundreds of dollars a jumpsuit.
Yeah,
thousands.
I mean, if you want to buy the jumpsuit, I'll send you an Amazon link where you can buy the jumpsuit that I bought. But if you want the art that goes on it,
All right, here we go.
I got to buy another one from the artist. I got to at least be able to buy another one. Moskovich bids $99 on the jumpsuit. Are we talking Very Moon jumpsuits for $99?
All right.
Think about it.
This is Hackled's Blade here.
All right, buddy. Thanks for chiming in.
Why are you always talking? No one asked for you to think. You're paid to pound in rivets, not to ponder missing links. Mr. Train needs productivity for the legitimacy of his regime. The world's most epic warmonger needs his reputation pristine.
Run from the henchmen, run from Hacklett's blade. Lops the heads off infidels or anyone who shows disdain. Run from the henchmen, run from Hacklett's blade. Lops the heads off infidels or anyone who complains.
You're unsettled, I can tell. You think there's something more, that you're better than Manila Train. Your arrogance I abhor. Manila's a good man, you give him a chance, but most of you never do. You hear the drumbeat of my jackboot and you automatically assume that we snooped you out, brought the gavel down, a little two-man cabal. He's bondsman, judge, and jury, trades of justice, jack of them all. My forte is torture. I'm a fiend for being mean. My fetish borders disorder. I live for sobs and screams.
Run from the henchmen, run from Hacklett's blade. Lops the heads off infidels or anyone who shows disdain. Run from the henchmen, run from Hacklett's blade. Lops the heads off infidels or anyone who complains.
Thumbscrews, pranks, and garrots are the tools of my trade. Close my eyes to your blood and cries, my ears tuned only to his praise. High priest of his own sect, vicar of control, the merchant of death, tormentor of your soul.
Run from the henchmen, run from Hacklett's blade. Lops the heads off infidels or anyone who shows disdain. Run from the henchmen, run from Hacklett's blade. Lops the heads off infidels or anyone who complains. Run from the henchmen, run from Hacklett's blade. Lops the heads off infidels or anyone who shows disdain. Run from the henchmen, run
What a group. What a group.
You know what's cool about that song that I kind of forgot about is one of the very first parts that we had for the song was dun, 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 right, which is the bass line for Voices and Sing.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the crazy part where it's I hear all the voices, dun, 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 right?
Yeah, the set of the world with my fist. My only choice left. So I guess that gives people a little bit of an idea of what the next version of Hacklett's Blade is going to sound like when we have full band on stage jamming that part. Because Hacklett's Blade is one of those songs that piano and chorus, it sounded great, but with band, it's going to really elevate up a level.
Yeah.
I'm psyched about
Yeah,
that.
that's going to be a heavy one for sure. Yeah.
That's
What so any question? I mean, people. Yeah. So what do people think like of between Hacklett's Blade? We played Falling. We've talked about this a bunch of times, like songs that sort of play in both worlds. And I mean, Hacklett's Blade is also one that I feel like I would love. I feel like I could hear Mark rapping Hacklett's Blade.
I think so too. That could be pretty fun, like a Floodlights type of vibe. That could be really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said the best version of Voices in that particular part is 6599, says Darwin Blinks. We have to go back to 6599 and listen to that. Thanks for the it's hard. There's so many voices, and that section is so unique every time we do it. It's hard to know which is the shot. All right, so can we? What's the next? Let's listen to another song. What?
Yeah.
I feel like
is there anyone in the chat who was at the shows and wants to hear something specific that they, because no one recorded the shows. So is there anything that they heard and they would love to sort of hear played back?
Anybody? We'll see what people in the chat are saying. I don't know. They're kind of focused on like the studio. So Darwin Blinks is Mark from High Times. All right, Mark, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the live stream. I don't know. Hacklett's Blade to me is like a song that I think is gonna would translate to a band really well. Isn't there another song that would translate to from the first act? Not Hacklett's Blade, but it's kind of a rock one.
10 Ton Yoke?
Did we do 10 Ton Yoke last time?
No.
Ooh, let's try 10 Ton Yoke then. Let's try that.
Right, we didn't do 10 Ton Yoke last time. I don't think so.
Did we? I thought we did. Guys, did we do 10 Ton Yoke last week? Have you guys seen 10 Ton Yoke? Do you want to see that one?
And
Nicole wants us to put this stuff on tape. Like she wants I guess a cast album or something, some kind of album.
Yeah, I mean that's coming. These workshops are what's imperative for us to dial in all the lyrics, go back into rewrites, kind of like begin the character develop or evolve the character development. That's what workshops are about. We're kind of trying to incorporate a step into that by providing some performances at the end of the workshops. But traditionally, these workshops are really just for the, director and, videotape it and go back, and you don't really see it come alive until the actors put it on stage. But, and then eventually you get it to a point where you're ready for prime time. I think the way that, John and I think about music is we get together, we rehearse for a couple of days, we put together a show or some special elements to a show, and then we try it out on stage, because same thing, you never know how it's going to fly until you do it on stage. But the play world is just a little bit different. They workshop it until everything is absolutely perfect. And we're trying to fuse those two things together. We're trying to do the workshop so that the actors can get comfortable, so that the directors can get comfortable, so that the writers here, the three of us, during that first workshop, we would let the actors learn everything, and the three of us would run to the writing room and rewrite a scene or, write a song that needed to be inserted that we didn't realize needed to be inserted until that very moment. stay up, until crazy hours of the night. Everybody had left, come in the next morning, hand over the sheet music, hand over the new lyrics. And that's kind of how it goes. I presume that that's pretty much how like Saturday Night Live works, which was my first experience in that type of world of cool, let's try it out. Nope, that doesn't work. That's going to work, but let's, give it to a different character and then try a different thing. So these workshops are all about that, development so that we could finally get to the point where we can fly a friggin' hot air balloon that rises up from underneath the stage and the entire audience gets in the basket and flies away.
Next step. Okay, so so I think we played Not Always This Way from the beginning of the first act. I think someone said we did not play 10-ton yoke last time. So should I pull it up here?
Yeah, let's go
Sure.
for it. Go for it. There's also a request for eulogy from Chris Kennedy.
I saw that. I feel like we promised that last time. So let's do 10-ton yoke. Let's chat a little more, and then we can maybe end on eulogy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Go back a little bit. And okay.
Couple comments about how people like the cast of Workshop 1 a lot. We also love the cast of Workshop 1. We thought they were all terrific, and we're lucky to have such talented people. People have schedules, so the primary thing for Workshop 2 is, can we schedule people to fit the time that we have and that the theater has, and so we have to change some of the cast for that reason. But there's a lot of great people in Philadelphia who are capable of singing, performing, all these things.
So this is 10-ton yoke.
The fields have all gone fallow, the wells have all run dry, the eggs have all gone hollow, the sun hides in the sky, the fruit rots on the trees, the very moment that it buds, life cycles curtailed by an impetuous thug. 10-ton yoke! 10-ton Fish the fisherman hauls has gone from bounty to bust. Wheat fields once all tall have turned into piles of dust. I share the fear, despair, my thoughts they might look dim. Can we all keep living in a world so grime and grim? 10-ton yoke! 10-ton yoke! 10-ton yoke!
Awesome.
Wow.
I like that somebody caught the overture tease in there. Yeah, so I mean, overture was one of the 3 songs from Hot Air Balloon that did not get translated into the first workshop version of Very Moon. But we tried to kind of like sneak in some elements of those 3 songs and some others into different places, kind of like little Easter eggs hidden in the arrangement. So it's cool that you guys noticed that.
Yeah. And look, and that cast too, totally top notch, all professionals. I mean, what do they do when not performing with us? I mean, they one of them, Mateo, who was Coronado, is busy doing a extended run at the Arden. I mean, they're all working actors, and we were just sort of lucky that the stars aligned and we were able to get up to grab all of their time, and they were available on relatively short notice for the May workshop. And that's what these donations are going to, is that incredible space that we were in, and to those actors. And so thank you in advance. Thank you for those who have donated, and for those who haven't. It's going to be to help us kind of hire the best of the best.
Right.
Yeah, these are all super pros. Super pros. Not a bunch of wannabes like me and Aaron trying to make a career in the music business without any theater experience at all. Terrible.
Yeah. And what else? We'll end with eulogy.
Wait, hold on, we're not ending right away, right? We just got here. I feel like can we do something from the workshop too? Can we look at some of the new stuff we're playing with? Do we have any of that footage available?
It's a little bit less. Let me see. We played some of it last
Yeah,
time.
the stuff we played last time was great. I would love to see some more of that. And also, I could watch The Very Moon, or I could watch Eulogy. Seems to be a big one people want to see.
Yep. Let's keep give me a second to pull some stuff up. I feel like I had those really handy, and I'm not sure where they are now. Let's go to eulogy, and then I'll keep looking. I feel like I had those clips. Oh, I know where they are. I'll find them in a second. Eulogy. Sorry, people. You guys entertain. Tell some funny jokes. You have any funny jokes? What am I funny? I just watched Goodfellas on Sunday, so now I've revisited that scene multiple times. All right.
Scene is the classic. That's the classic scene that made made those guys' whole careers.
All right.
Are we going to? I guess people in the chat, do they have any other questions for us about stuff? Like, are we going to make a movie out of Hot Air Balloon Very Moon? Maybe. If we can pull off Workshop 2, things become really possible. Peter Zellen's going to the Austin shows. That's great, Peter. We'll see you there. That's fun.
All right. Should we here we go. This is Eulogy, sung by Matteo as Coronado. I think.
And if I ask my there's more to the world than what I've seen. There's more to my life than my eulogy. I asked my maker for one more day, but I know my chances are slipping away. Close my eyes, hear the bells, and I see the clouds. Feel the grays on my skin of the burial shroud. Prayers, benedictions, blessings, and calls to find in the beyond what's eluding us all. It's 1 in a million that I'm here today, but it's 1 in a billion that I'll get to stay. And if I ask my maker to see it through, when it seems there's nothing more that I can do, there's more to life than gone are my days, and the sand's waiting last to be swept away. But I still have time to look at the sky and search through the clouds for some kind of sign. Bring on the lightning like bolts like a train. Let loose the screams of a mad hurricane. Bring down the water in buckets and all. Shake up the earth where all here will fall. Nothing but splash, no flash, and no sound. Oh, all that is left are my feet on the ground. Oh, now remember that life was a ball. Life was a ball when I was the person in search of it all. It's 1 in a million that I'm here today, but I'm 1 in a billion that I'll get to stay. Gonna beg my maker to see me through, but it seems there's nothing more that I can do. than what I've seen. There's more to my life than my eulogy. Gonna beg my maker to see me through, so I can pronounce my love to you.
End of Act 1.
Oh, the tears.
Amazing.
Mateo, love that.
Crushed it. There's an interesting question here in the chat about Leora. Does Leora love Coronado? I'm paraphrasing this, or is she just trying to get away from Manila? And this is kind of one of the things that we've been discussing recently in the rewrites of, what's the character motivation, and really starting to dig inside that. I'm going to put myself on mute while my dog is barking. Nick, you want to take this?
Yeah, I mean, one of the questions that we asked ourselves at the end of the first workshop was whether we had teased out the nature of their love, whether we had spelled it out enough. It was kind of a glancing love at first sight, but was, that happens and that is meaningful in real life. But for the purposes of drama, did it need to be more? Do we need to understand a little bit more about their relationship and what drew them to one another? So that's what we're in the process of working through right now. It's just kind of trying to figure out what that love looks like. But it's a great question, and it's kind of been foremost on our minds in recent days.
Yeah. Also, like, going back and watching this arrangement, right, which can be cleaned up around the edges for sure. I kind of start thinking about all the things that we wanted to do as we started to understand the potential that the cast and that our amazing musical director Alex had, but we're kind of limited in time and budget in order to accomplish. So one of those things in Eulogies was right, and we were like, oh my god, that's so good. Can we start sprinkling those types of things in all of the songs? And the answer is yes, with more time and more money to afford us that time, which is why we are all here today to help raise some funds for the Very Moon. Tell your parents, tell your friends, tell your cat and dog. There's a link up there on the top. John wants the Rebels $10, $20, $30 donations to start getting us to hit that point. I'm saying that's awesome. Rebels, come on board. We want as many people to be part of this process as possible. If you have the means to do more than 10 or 20, we get there faster. So whatever you can do to help us get there, we're committed with our goal of making this magic come alive, and come along for the ride.
Good. That was nice. That's
Yeah,
nice.
Thank you.
I mean, very impressive.
Very impressive.
The interesting question was asked, and John, I would love to, I mean, as the songwriter for these songs, there's someone in the question asked, like, whether we're planning to have choreography over some of these longer instrumental sections. And they said, even with the truncated instrumental section in Eulogy, it still feels a little long. Can you talk about that? Like, taking music that feels right for the instrumental sections on stage with the band, with the Biscuits, and how we're kind of reconsidering, and how you feel personally as someone who wrote it, as we are kind of trying to condense.
Well, I mean, look, we cut. It's a little weird when it's a piano player and 5 singers to have like the whole all the different parts of Eulogy that in Disco Biscuits, people want the music section to be longer. And in theater, when it's just a piano, people want it shorter. It feels long because there's people on stage doing nothing with the stands. That was workshop 1. Workshop 2, no music stands, right? Full band. So the music will be something, maybe you do want it longer suddenly. And then we're going to have people on stage, no music stand, they're going to be like moving around. And these people are professional dancers as well. So they may get into it. They may do some really cool, amazing things. There's also going to be a little bit of a light show in workshop 2 as well. So that may also add to some vibe and create a little bit of a stunning look here and there and really give it a show vibe. I think some of the longer passages of music are going to creep back into the show because I'm already thinking about, you know, what the songs are going to sound like with the band, and exactly like why we truncated them before. Those reasons are different. So it's going to be, the music will be longer. I hope the show doesn't get any longer because the show's the right length. So we may have to cut some stuff, but you get the idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the advent of like a band, that repeating sections will make a little bit more sense, right? Because there can be some momentum when repeating sections, right? So Nick and I were talking earlier, that thing that we do in Biscuit songs at the end that you do so incredibly well, John, that we refer to as laps, right? Which is basically, you know, me, Mark, Alan are playing the same thing for all intents and purposes, maybe with a little bit more gusto each time we do it. And, you know, we're helping to you know, put some wind at your sails so that you can take us higher and higher and higher. And we say laps because there's a point psychologically where we're like, okay, this is the highest I can go. But if we say laps to ourselves, then there's probably more room to lift it higher. And having a band available to, you know, provide that backing, to, you know, put that wind at its sails, enables us to do that where it might not translate as well with just solo piano. So, you know, a lot of things to try out in this next iteration.
Can I make a quick sort of fanboy about Alex Bechtel, though? We, about a month before these May shows, I remember talking to John, and I think, John, you said something like, people are not going to know what to do with only a piano. And we were really nervous about like the expectation that the sound that you walk into a Biscuit show and it's loud and it's like, you know, it's dynamic and there's a depth to it. And it was like, how is a single piano going to be able to carry people's attention for 2 hours? And I just have to say, it is, yes, the band is going to be badass and it's going to take it to all kinds of new heights. But what Alex was able to do with just a piano, I thought was absolutely miraculous, and able to fill that sound and to hold people's attention in a really engaging way for the whole show.
Yeah. Yeah. And mind you, his concentration during that, you know, first workshop wasn't what he was playing. His sole concentration was to get the actors in a place where they felt comfortable to, you know, shine their brightest, right? So everything that he was able to accomplish was secondary to, you know, his primary focus that week of workshop one.
Yeah,
it's impressive.
It was impressive that they did everything. This workshop 2, they get 2 weeks instead of 1 week. 4 shows instead of 2 shows. So everything is kind of doubled, which is nothing for these, you know, like for the amount of work and songs and stuff we're putting in, it's a very short amount of time. But we will get it done, and it will be awesome. And people loved workshop 1, and workshop 2 is going to be even better. Can we sample something else? What are you in the mood to sample?
Well, we can either give a little short tease of, I can't remember what exactly we played last time from the August sessions at your house, but we could do a little bit of that. And then I would love to end on, you know, we broke some of the songs into different parts. I would love to end on Hell on Fire. I feel like Hell on Fire, the harmonies in Hell on Fire really get me. So I would be open to doing that, but I'm also, I mean, look, we can stick around for another, you know, wrap this up in the next few minutes. If you guys, is there anything else that either you two want to hear, or that anyone else wants to hear?
Let's watch Hell on Fire, and I'll think about it while we're doing it.
All right. Well, let's play something from the sessions first. Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of rebels coming in.
All right. Yeah. So again, this is
donating $5. It's good. It's like you're gonna be able.
That's the Bernie Sanders method.
You're gonna get tickets to the show. You know what I mean? That's people want to hear Gates of Hell on Fire, please.
Yeah. While I'm pulling this up, why don't you guys talk a little bit about people have asked us to what extent they can expect some electronic element in these sort of future iterations of the show. Where do you kind of, I mean, I know where we are, I know where we want to go at some point, you know, what does the ultimate sound like to you
for this group?
As the show kind of evolves, like, do you feel like this is going to sound more like these songs are still going to be show tune songs, but is it going to sound, are there musical passages that are going to sound more Biscuits-y at points, or do you feel like if there's going to be kind of an air gap between the way that these songs are always going to be played as Biscuit songs and the way these songs are always going to be played as Very Moon songs?
Well, I mean, playing them with the Biscuits is something like where I feel like as we get a band in workshop 2, and then where we feel comfortable enough to release some of this stuff. Like right now, we're kind of releasing some of these songs in a weird way, like on YouTube, and people can hear the songs if they didn't get to go to the shows, which is cool. So do these shows make it to the stage with the band? Like if you've ever seen Vegas Cirque du Soleil show where it's like a rock band and an orchestra in one, I think that would be an ideal place for Hot Air Balloon to go. Like a lot of orchestra, a lot of composition, but still the rock band core of, you know, a song like Very Moon and or a song like Voices Insane, a song like Hot Air Balloon. Like those are rock band songs, and you need the distortion guitars and some of the chunkiness to give it the fullness that it deserves.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up. This is from August last month in John's basement, laying out some songs for the next version, and I'm just gonna kind of randomly go to a clip and play it for a few minutes just to kind of show where we are. So, all right. So the background is that there's essentially a sewer sneaking. Actually, let's go to. Hold on. Let me pull something else up.
That's what I want to see. This is stuff I want to see. I love this stuff.
Doesn't it go dun da dun dun da 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 dun da dun dun da dun dun da oh, then it goes then and then play that one more time.
Oh, just the B flat.
Yeah, sorry.
Somewhere else. We don't have to go to the ESOS. You know, if you want to repeat that twice.
I don't know. I think it could be cool. It's a great. I feel like it hits, and whether if you do it twice, it hits a little bit less intensely than I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Here we go.
Coming to stage near you.
What is that? What is that? Is that gonna be part of workshop 2, right?
I think that So it's funny. Aaron and I were talking about this today. That's the manifesto march. And today, just to, and we obviously all know that John and Aaron are total singular musical geniuses, right? But to be able to create and compose with them is kind of the wildest thing ever. And so today, with this very theme, and then John pulling a guitar lick that you played in 2009 and figuring out how to marry those two ideas together and sort of throwing this. And I said to Aaron, it should sound like the final moments of a John Hughes movie. They've just graduated high school and now they're going to go off to their new lives. It's bittersweet. And within 3 minutes, it was like, oh, that's exactly like that's the mood. And so it's been, it's really kind of been a remarkable creative opportunity. And I, in some ways, that's what the show's all about, right? I mean, I think that the theme of the show is kind of creativity trumping all, right? I love Letter to Creativity.
Imagination is not a crime.
I mean, right?
The chat loved it. Everybody in the chat's blowing up about that jam. Can we listen to something else? Do we have anything else available to pull up?
Let's go.
That jam's in the play now. Everybody's blowing up over that, which is cool.
Good.
That makes me feel good, right? Because we're in your basement and we're trying this thing out and we don't know what it's going to become. We don't have lyrics over it yet. We kind of have a concept of what it's supposed to imply for that scene. Right, the manifesto march, but we haven't realized its potential yet, and it's awesome that Nick documents all this stuff. I think that it's great, to be able to do these YouTube things and show the fans what it's like behind the scenes. But it's also great for us to be able to not only go back and check out our ideas and how it progressed, but I just find it fascinating to find that one moment where it kind of just there it is. That's it. It's like you're fishing for something, you're fishing for the right note, you're fishing for the right chord, and then all of a sudden it comes together right there at 17 minutes and 31 seconds of the clip. That's cool.
Totally. Well, even with you guys and Falling, I mean, right. You both knew, you were like, oh, that's it, that's the song. Like, let's put our instruments down, we've got it. Now we can focus on the next thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's sometimes the harder song to write is the song where you have too many ideas. Like it's something like that, which is like a really great melodic concept. Like it's going to be easy to write that song, put some lyrics over it, and we're good. But something like Falling, for instance, we had too many ideas, and deciding what to cut can be harder than deciding, what to do.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you guys want to, why don't we talk a little bit quickly about the fundraising campaign, and then we can end them on a big triumphant Hell on Fire note.
Yeah.
So why are we, just for anyone who's kind of joining, I know people are popping in and out. Why are we, why would we need to raise money when you all are a hugely successful touring band and we are going to sell tickets to the Very Moon shows?
What do you mean? Why are we raising money? Because we're spending more money than we're going to make at those shows, and we don't have the ability to put more shows.
It was a rhetorical question. I didn't.
Because the Biscuits are going to do a winter tour, and we only have so many weekends available because the Biscuits are taking up most of our weekends. So we have 1-2 weekends available for Very Moon, and we want 6. And we want to do the cast as if we have 6, but we only have 1 because our people, the Biscuit people, are making Biscuit shows happen. So, it is what it is. We got 2 weeks to do the Very Moon. We want to do it big. We want to do it great. And we figured you guys would help. That's what we figured. We made an educated decision that you guys would close the gap for us.
I mean, that's what it is. It's expensive to do. We want to pay everybody that is involved in this production, aside from us, as fairly as we possibly can. And the expenses supersede that which we could possibly bring in from ticket sales. And we don't want to skimp on expenses. We're not building a hot air balloon yet that can fly the entire audience, but that will be hopefully another goal. But we are trying to, take this to a different level of professionality. And we're not going to be able to underwrite that with the amount of tickets that we could potentially sell for this. And I also think, aside from all that, of not going into the black of bootstrapping our way into this musical, like you guys did on the first round. But I just think that it's cool to involve the fan base that has been such an important part of our backbone throughout our entire career. I say it all the time. Our fans are both rabid and loyal. They've always been there for us. They always support, any of our projects and our endeavors, and have supported the band through our, many ups and some of our downs, and, helped us get, find that wind again. And so I think that it's cool to involve the fan base in this process. Let you guys know what's going on. Let you guys know how excited we are. Let you guys know the sense of, the accomplishment and fulfillment that we had writing it, and then watching this art kind of get performed in front of our very eyes. And hope that you come along for the ride with us. And this is a way to engage with you.
Great. Well said. And I think, are we going to do, we'll do another sort of talk back at the end of these next round of performances, where we'll engage attendees with, what they thought about the show, and kind of have a brief conversation afterwards. Yes? We're thinking that's.
Maybe. I mean, it's still up in the air, like, all the details of it. We might Q&A. We did a Q&A after the last two workshops. It was a big success. Everybody loved it, and the questions were great. And it was very instructive for us, because we got some, right after the show feedback about what people liked and didn't like, and some of the things that we thought were, interesting ideas, people loved, and they were really emotional about after the show. So it was cool to feel that. And it's going to be a lot more the same with this. I mean, I feel like every time we play people, like some of the new music that's going into the workshop too, they give us, the chat blows up, and everybody's like, this is fire. I love this, blah, blah, blah. And I just think that the workshop 2 is just going to be like that much more exciting and emotional for people. People cried during workshop 1, and I would expect people to cry even more during workshop 2. And people laughed. I mean, there were straight up jokes. There were straight up laughs.
So one of the things. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, bust out the Gibson at the next workshop. I love it. We don't have a guitar player yet for the next workshop, so I may end up on guitar. We'll see what happens. All right, so look, can we do some more music? Can we play this?
Yeah, so one of the things that we did, as you can hear, in 10 Ton Yoke, we pulled on the overture theme, and in Hacklett's Blade, we pulled, we kind of take pieces of either songs that we're not using, or even songs of sections from songs that we're not using. And so what we did with a couple of songs is also break them into multiple pieces. So this is Above the Waves is sort of broken up, and Hell on Fire, as we call it, is the Hell on Fire section. And so this sung as an ensemble is one of my definite favorite parts of the show. So all right.
This is the song that we made in the midst.
Save. Mulberry, let the engines burn. The airship lifted off the ground. She tried, but she could not believe that she thought Coronado could be free. Her life was now in vain. All that's left was just to fly away. She spun, she heard a gasping sound, but she did not see her friend.
All right.
You're like his life was now in vain part. Man, every time that high harmony kills me.
Love those. I love those bigger harmonies. So fun. What about can we do the one where Coronado is like going crazy in the water and talking to himself?
No, we can't do that one. I don't know that song.
I thought that was Hell on Fire.
Where he's doing that's in in Above the Waves, where he's got the two voices over his shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, we did our own version of like the devil and angel on your shoulders, like, theater, like drama thing where the character has his conversation with both sides of his conscious to decide what to do next. And we made a really cool little ditty about that using parts of Above the Waves and the content.
All right. So
PY asked if the actors were confused by the lyrical content. No, they got it. They were with it. They got the character arcs and everything.
Above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves. Above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves. Above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves. Above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves.
Where are you going?
Wait, who said that?
I'm the voice in your head of your only friend.
I thought I was your only friend.
Why are you swimming away from her?
Yeah, come on back. But hasn't Leora caused you enough pain? You're wasting precious energy, old
Save
pal.
her while you can.
Save her? How are you gonna scale that cliff, fight off Hacklet and all his henchmen, defeat me, and get to her?
If you can dream, it can be real.
Above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves.
Save your own neck. Get as far from this place as you can.
Go find the island that you and I circled that day on the map, and you
Now
can
this is smart.
build the balloon and fly back to rescue
Okay, how are you
her.
gonna do that? With the blueprints you shredded?
You had to. They were gonna fall into the wrong hands.
That was dumb.
Piece together your fantasies, like you always said.
Oh, yeah. You're in prime physical and mental shape to recall the specifics of your most grand invention.
You'll improvise.
Above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves going under, above the waves.
Oh, yeah, you're a real paragon of spontaneity.
People can change.
It's not as easy as you think.
You're wasting time.
You're the one with the ludicrous ideas.
Have you forgotten everything you believe? Every big idea sounds ludicrous until it's not.
You know,
I mean, that's a pretty good stopping point. The notion of
I was in that. Why'd you stop?
you. No, I was trying to end on a cliffhanger. This is that we're trying to make a big idea.
All right, then leave it. All right, yeah.
I had to look up the word paragon.
There's not a band called Paragon. Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, that's kind of where we are, right? Is that we, this notion of trying to write a musical is it's a cockamamie scheme that shouldn't work. And we've managed to, I think, surprise even ourselves in getting as far as we've gotten, and really need you all support to kind of continue to progress and to develop this thing into hopefully what it wants to become, which is, we want it to be kind of a big theatrical event that people outside of the Biscuits fan base, we want to expose as many people to this music that we all sort of share this passion for as possible. And we think that this musical gives us the opportunity to do that. And we can only really get there with your support.
Well, speaking of support, Mike Matthews just joined the Airship Tycoons, and
Ooh.
and he just And I had a lot of rebels come in today on my side, but if you do the calculus, I'm the one wearing the Canadian tuxedo. The rebels are getting outfoxed singularly by Mike Matthews. So thank you,
Good
Mike.
job, Mike
Thank you. Thank you.
Matthews.
Thank you.
But I mean, rebels, look, what do you want to see me in a Canadian tuxedo for? Aaron is the guy. Do this.
I mean, it's true. The
Come on,
second
Rebel.
that I get a bead of sweat on my eyebrow during a show, I sit down and I take a drink. I'm not like a drummer. You ever hug a drummer after a show? They're all soaking wet. Like, I don't want to, and not even a bead of sweat. So I understand why you're trying to dare this to happen.
Awesome. Okay. Well, guys, why don't we? I mean, look, we can check in again in a few weeks and do this again. We have another 30-ish days left on the campaign. Is that correct? We're going to continue to kind of be working, developing, and
Well, look, it's worth saying, another rebel, Dan Blair. It's worth saying that we are now halfway to our goal. So we thank you all very much for getting us to halfway, which is really considerable considering we have about 30 days left. And we should do some more of these live streams because I just really enjoy them. I'd love to go through some of the music for Workshop 2 because if the chat blows up, we know the song's going to be good. So it like saves us a little bit of time trying to figure out whether the music's good or not. We just play it here in the chat and see what people say. I mean, people loved that last song. I mean, we knew that last song was good, but like people loved it. They loved the song we did last week on the live stream. Why can't we do next week on the live stream? Why can't we just do this again next week?
you guys are going to be heading. You guys are getting in Austin, right?
Oh,
We'll do a different type of live stream.
Okay. So yeah, the fans need to know this. They'll be excited about this. The Disco Biscuits are doing their first in-venue tech day ever that I can remember in the career of the band.
We've done dozens of them, but
Never remember. I don't even know. First time ever that we're going to set up on stage and make sure everything is plugged in correctly and tweak and do all the new advanced stuff that we're doing. We've never done this before.
Never done.
This is a classic, great moment in Disco Biscuit history. Thursday and then Friday, Saturday, Austin. You guys are all coming, and those shows are going to be crushes.
yes, we are figuring out some technical stuff that is going to help us grow more limbs from our appendages.
Yeah. Yeah, we do the stuff. People are asking in the live stream, Cocoa Puff loves the Angel Devil interplay. I too love that part of the show. I think for me, that part of the show is a lot of fun. It gets us using the Above the Waves Going Under in the way that it was originally written. I mean, that the Above the Waves Going Under was originally supposed to be the music that it describes him swimming randomly through the ocean trying to get somewhere, but he doesn't really know where because he ran off the cliff without knowing where he was going. He just ran off the cliff because behind him was certain death. So then he's swimming, and the whole Above the Waves Going Under, even in Hot Air Balloon, was supposed to be exactly what it is in this song. But though we never did in Hot Air Balloon the mental part of the Above the Waves Going Under. And I think, Nick, I really nailed that for the writing of that, because it really feels like it is what Coronado would be like going through at that moment in the show. So I really love that one. Glad we played that one. Can we play Sunday's Best for everybody? Can we get a vibe on Sunday's Best? This is like my favorite song of the whole thing. I think it's the best song in the whole show. And it always gets, it's not a biscuit. It's a song we wrote for the show specifically. And
All right.
Kate wants us to use Songs of Joy as an interlude of some sort. Songs of Joy is an overture to an opera that I never wrote.
But there's an album coming soon.
Right. We're doing other stuff.
All right, we'll play Sunday's Best, but we can't keep playing, or else there won't be anything left for people to see.
Oh, I got another Fat Cat though. The Fat Cats are coming in right now. Lauren Schmidt. I mean, not a Fat Cat, a Rebel.
Oh, what a tease!
I love it, Lauren.
Oh, Now I know what team you're on next.
Yes. Keep it coming, folks. Because hey, guess what? Mike Matthews is not going to be enough for the Rebels. The Rebels will overtake because we are powerful in our numbers. We are powerful in our gang, in our group. If I see the Very Moon, can I include it in my biscuit show count? Says Dan K. I'd say yes, because everybody there is a biscuit head, and most of the people there are. So that's big. Yeah, let's do something. You want to hold it back? Are we good? Are we done for the day? It's
I mean, let's hold something back for next time. Then we can do a mix of oldies and new ones.
Okay.
Oldies and new.
You gotta leave people wanting more.
But I mean, look, the Rebels are hot right now. The Rebels are hot. It is close. It is close. It's not that close. It's not that close. It's pretty. Could be close. Could be close.
Awesome, guys. Thank you two for making the time, though, guys, and thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been a blast, and thanks to the band and to Drew for letting us commandeer the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah,
awesome.
Appreciate it to everybody.
And we'll
unplugged hot air balloon show. I was thinking that we're halfway to our fundraising goal. One way we could get all the way to the fundraising goal is, or if need be, and even if we do hit our goal, we'll probably do this. We're more likely to do this. Is we could play, do some kind of show with the band from Very Moon Workshop. Who's ever in the band, we could do a show. I can play guitar. Aaron can play piano. And then we could get the drummer and bass player and some of the other instrumentalists that we basically are helping us afford. And we can do a couple shows with them. We can play the Very Moon songs. We can play some space opera songs. We can do a lot of different things. But we'll probably focus on the Very Moon songs because, it is what it is. I don't know. I think that would be fun, Aaron. What do you think of that idea? Do you think we should do a gig as the Very Moon Workshop band?
I mean, all that stuff sounds fun. I can't wait to see how it sounds with the band kind of executing this music and what that vibe is going to be like when we, now reimagine this new music from piano to a band environment. So thank you everybody for your support thus far. Thank you for coming on this ride. We're all really excited about where this is going. There's still a lot of question marks as we continue to write and rewrite and more songs and, improve some of the old songs and the orchestration. So your support is really, really appreciated here. So thank you. We'll keep you updated.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Thanks so much. And if we play in the next round, can I be on cowbell if we're going to do a power band of Very Moon songs? All right.
You got it.
Yeah, why don't that would be great, dude. We would put you in a Very Moon jumpsuit or something cool. And
all right.